Hello, anybody home? Hey, you, how you doing? Hello. Just trying out the live stream. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, really? Wow, can you hear my voice? Oh, you can see the poll. Fantastic. Wow, look at that. Well, hello, Bub Blades. You're the first person to actually see me. You're on the first live stream I've ever done for YouTube, at least. I've done live streams. Oh, I see. Okay. There's probably some kind of delay, I'm sure. Oh, look, we have Ginger Gypsy. Can hear me fine. Fantastic. So I want to tell you guys, I was just clicking around in my YouTube and I saw this thing called streaming. Like I've seen other YouTube people like do the streaming thing. I've never thought I'd do this. So I just clicked the button and I thought I'd try it and see who shows up. Well, and yeah, happy to say hello. Hello to you too. Fantastic. Let's see who else shows up. Just, I've got some time. I'm babysitting a puppy. A lot of fun. So that's always good. I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to wonder, like, if there's any way to hook up like a video so that we can talk about maybe the latest video that I just posted. I'm looking around at the buttons and I don't see anything of that sort. Oh, what's this? Okay, just in case it disconnect, I'm sorry, but send feedback. No, that's not it. I know it's not end live stream. Actually, I don't. I is that what it means? So that means you have enough subscribers. Um, Possibly. I think I've got about 1,000 subscribers. So I know at least 15 of them are my family members. No, 5 of them are my family members. My mom, um, my dad, my brother, my sister, and stuff like that. Do you mean to live stream? I I'm sure there's some kind of like tier system with this stuff. I think what happens is you have to reach a certain amount on YouTube to do certain things, and it's actually quite exciting. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is 1,000. Um, uh, Everything seems to be 1,000. Um, of course, another $500 and you could have gotten my minivan, my 2008. Yeah, well, that's good. That's right. They're not in the same household, so that's good. Family counts. I got a couple of people at work who follow me, which is pretty cool, especially when they say, "Hey, I saw your latest video." It's always fun. I'm just fixing some stuff here. It's getting a little messy. So, did you guys get some kind of like alert that said, "Hey, this guy's on live stream," or like did you just happen to see my? I don't know. Did you get like a notification? Look at that. I'm wondering, and I am just wondering, there's a timer in the top left-hand corner, and it says live. I'm guessing that after this live stream, I think what happens is it allows me to save it. That's what I'm guessing because I've seen that happen. Oh, I have to put on that feature. The feature. What feature? Oh, the feature that records it? I w that's a good idea because I would love to be able to record this. That way I can remember my first live stream and how the very first person that showed up was Bub Blades. How do I put that feature on? Please tell me what button. You're my only hope. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's right. I've seen that before. I've seen where they sort of say, yes, please subscribe and click that notification button. Yeah, I've seen that before. I see it in other YouTube videos. Oh, wait a sec here. BU VanLife. Oh, we have three people. Three people showed up. This is amazing. Yeah, this is your claim to fame. I should like screen capture this and just say, hey guys, check this out. Well, actually, that's it. That's on the assumption there's going to be fame involved. Well, I'm hoping it's recording it, and if it isn't, that's okay. We can try it again. You know what I'll do, Bub Blaze? You know what I'll do? I'll message you first and say, "Hey, come on over. I'm putting on a live stream," and then that way you'll be the first one again. But we all know. Hey, hello, Iron Firehorse. Look at this. BU Van Life. Wow, look at this. We have guys. We have like I think 6 people here. This is amazing. 6 people. It's amazing. I did another video. Hey, Milk and Spear. Hey, UK. What time is it in UK? It's probably like morning or something, right? Probably what? 9 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh, I like this. You guys are all saying hi to everybody. I'm telling you, man, this whole van life community, just some really decent folk here. I really like this. 2 a.m. Oh wow, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. You're up late. That's all right. That's all right. It, I'm in Ontario, Canada. It's about 9 p.m. right now. 2 a.m. in the UK. Cool. Look, you just around the corner, dude, bub. You're just around the corner. Look at that. Maybe I know Van Life Ontario on Facebook. Okay, they have these sort of like get-togethers. So maybe one day I'll get out there. Oh, you too, Iron Firehorse, guys. Seriously, we gotta like connect and just like chill out or something. BC. Oh man, I don't know if you know this, BU Van Life, but I actually want to head out there. I want to head out west. I've been to Alberta before, and then I dipped out to Emerald Lake on BC. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a actually very cool community. Yeah, very cool community, Bub Blades. Very cool community. I like overall like my experience on social media across the board has been extremely positive. Just positive, and I've got my planning. I'm working towards building out the van, but my little silver cabin. I think it'll make it across. You know. Hey, Darren, how you doing? Oh, a gathering in Ontario. Maybe not necessarily me, but I do know Van Life Ontario from Facebook, the Facebook group. They do get people together, and usually it's like out there up north, open space. Uh, I mean, I think that'd be absolutely cool. Yukon, you know what? Yukon, I'm gonna go there too. Montreal was. I used to race Spartan races in Montreal, OCR, way back in the day. Wait a sec. How many people we have here? We have I think we have at least six people. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 people. Wow, this is the most. Cool. Right now trying to buy a van is difficult, especially in Ontario, because like the stats are showing that there was an article that I had read that the minivan is coming back. And right now, trying to like a van that I could have picked up, like a cargo van, for $4,000, now is going for about 40-50% more. Like it's like 6,000, 7,000, and it's just been insane the pricing because apparently there was some chip shortage or something. I'm not sure, but dealers are actually trying to buy back car leases. And if you were to buy a car now, you're going to have to wait several months just to get it. So right now, vans are in short supply. Iron Firehorse, thank you very much. Dodge, you did a search for Dodge Caravan conversions? My, that's pretty cool. You know what? The Dodge Caravan, super comfy. Like it's a square as it's going to get. I think it's a few curves here and there, but it was pretty easy. And actually, there's another person who wants me to work on their Dodge Grand Caravan. So what I was thinking of doing was actually measuring everything out. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Everything is very expensive. Measuring everything out so that anyone else who has a Dodge Grand Caravan doesn't have to measure it out. And I was thinking of this, putting it somewhere, maybe on a Google Drive, so people can just download the plan so they know the height, the width, the length, and also the space you're working with. And um, my van build is a bit different in that, right now a lot of people think that it's like sort of like hard coded, right, built in. The only thing that's actually built in is the ceiling, and everybody knows how much I love my ceiling, right? Yeah, but my channel is tiny. My channel, I didn't even think I'd end up here on YouTube. I have no build videos of my van, like very few. I've got a few photos. I have, yeah, I love my ceiling too, man. And that's a part that's stationary, but even I can still take out the ceiling. That's what I built it so that I can unscrew it. And everybody hates that screwed ceiling because the screws kind of like stick out a bit. And because um, it's a long story, but I used the screws that I had, and it's also very thin, right? But the kitchenette, the storage, all that stuff, I can actually take and transfer it to another Dodge Grand Caravan. You're a natural in front of the camera. Thank you. You know what, man? I love to cook. I really like to cook, and um, it's and I like to eat as well. But pizza is my thing. Pizza is definitely my thing when it comes to like to this stuff. I don't know if you guys must have seen the 12-volt cooking. So I've got three ways to cook pizza. One way is via that little casserole that I have. I got picked up at Walmart. I think the handle was broken, right? It was like unscrewing. And so they were like just trying to get rid of it. I got it for I think like it goes for $25. I think I paid 15. It's solid metal, right? So I use that sort of like as a Dutch oven, and I could bake stuff in there, just about anything. I've got videos for that. And then the other one that I use is I pan fried pizza on a pan, and it worked out pretty good. But you have to really keep it on low heat, otherwise it burns. And then the next one I've been doing is cooking with 12 volts, uh, just because it's so hot in the summer. Turning on a burner just keeps you're just boiling, especially if you're cooking in the van. But I prefer cooking outside. You're fasting. I want to tell you something. Fasting is actually good for you. There's research that shows there are some benefits to fasting, everything from cognitive benefits to just overall health. So every so often, well, actually, when you go to sleep, you're literally fasting. That's why it's called breakfast or break fast when you wake up in the morning, right? Omni oven, oh man, those things are like $200. I think. I think they're pretty expensive, but I'm sure they're worth it because they're designed in such a way so that you get even heat across the board. None of this sort of like wonky heat that you get. So yeah, whatever you're cooking is going to turn out really well. A plug-in kettle for the van. Yeah, like a 12 volt. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, 12 volt. I have, I picked up a 12-volt kettle. One of the people that were here, Chuck, aka William, he has one, and now it actually takes about 15 minutes to sort of get started up. But I would rather have that sometimes, especially if I'm in a rush. Rather not in a rush, especially if I'm just sitting around. If I'm in a rush, I would use a burner. But in terms of the 12 volts, I want to tell you guys about something that I made, and uh, it's for 12 volts, right? I use one kettle for pasta. You know what? A kettle for pasta. Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. Yeah, that would work. I'm just trying. I'm picturing every time I hear kettle, I'm thinking tea. I don't know why. Um, Guys, I made a 12-volt timer, and I've been using it for the past few weeks, and it actually works. It works really well. So what it does is, let's say you have a 12-volt device. Let's say in this case here, the uh, the water boiler. What's it called? The kettle. Okay, the 12-volt kettle. And what it does is you could set the time when it starts and when it stops, and that's what it is. Dude, that's like amazing. Out of the diabetic range, that is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations. Yeah, yeah, fasting does help. And I'll tell you how I know fasting helps. Okay, all four of you, I'm going to tell you a big secret about me. Well, maybe it's not a secret. Um, Before van life, before a lot of this stuff, I used to weigh about 310 pounds. Let that sink in. And one of the strategies I that I used was fasting. And so I went from 310 pounds all the way down. Like I literally went from 310 pounds all the way down to like 165. My walking weight is about 170, 175. Hey, Darlene, how you doing? Welcome. It's kind of neat how everyone kind of saw this. Well, some like I think 7 people saw the live stream alert, I guess. No, no, don't worry about being late. This was just sort of one of those things. I was clicking around on YouTube Studio, and all of a sudden, boom, it's like, what? What is this? I pressed the button, and then my camera came on, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Bub Blade shows up and says, hello. And you're welcome, Darlene. And so I thought, hey, I'll just start talking. Um, we were just talking about just earlier about if you're in Ontario, right? You got no notification. Just sat down. So yeah, well, that's what I did. Like I had some time. I had to babysit this evening. I was babysitting a puppy. So cute. I mean, seriously, so cute, and also relaxing. So we sat around, had some food. It was okay. Yeah, this is a wonderful mistake. And speaking of mistakes, uh, you know, if, if you, some of you probably seen some of my videos, a few of them already, but there's a lot of mistakes on my van build, and you'll notice a lot of them kind of like nothing is really flush, and that's because when I started this thing, whatever I had, whatever material I had, is what I used, and sometimes it was difficult to straighten them out. If I were to do this again, I would probably spend some money on plywood. Granted, plywood is like what, $10,000 a sheet now. It's like insane. Where's the pupper? Oh, the pupper's not here anymore. It was earlier, but actually I posted a picture of the pup in the community tab. That's actually a good place for me to sort of just like when I have something that looks kind of interesting, but I don't want to go through all the entire effort of like posting a video. I just throw everything there. So if you go to my main YouTube page under community, you'll see a picture of the puppy. It's a Shih Tzu. It's so cute. And you know what's weird? It doesn't know how to bark. It doesn't bark at all. You know what? Yeah, dumpster diving. And again, for me, when I'm looking for materials, I want it's usually stuff that's I can easily access. I don't like touch anything that's like that has all kinds of gunk on it. And another way that you can get some materials is tell your friends and family what you're doing. Like what happened for me was I was talking to my brother and he says, "Hey, you know what? I've got some plywood that you might be able to use," and I got free plywood, and that was before the price of plywood shot up to like pretty much $100 here. I'll look later. So, I don't think you'll lose the chat, but if you're on a browser, you might be able to open up a new tab unless you're on the actual app. Oh, in terms of getting other stuff to build out your van, like other materials, you can go to like a Goodwill. Over here, we have this place called Value Village, which is sort of like clothes and a hardware store rolled into one. It's actually quite wild. Oh, you're on the phone? Yeah. Uh, there might if you're on an Android or an iPhone, you know, yeah, you might lose it. You can always come back, but anyway, you can check later on. But it's a cute puppy. It'd be great if I can actually like push a link. Actually, maybe I can. Hold on. Maybe I can. There is a way. Okay, so let me. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh yes, I'm looking for a link. Click here. Okay, I'm gonna click here. Okay, I'm loading in my own site. Community tab. Let's do an experiment here, everybody. Let's see if this works. Okay, copy here. Oh, wow. That's weird. Oh, there we go. So bottom here. Um, it doesn't show how I give a link here. It actually doesn't show. It's probably because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to copy here and I'm going to go over to live stream. Oh, wow. You guys are still there. Yeah. Value Village has everything that people don't want, which is a lot. Okay. I'm just going to push this link. Yay. Look at that. Look. Mine has a special yellow highlight. I feel so special. Value Village. A lot of the stuff I wear was from Value Village. You know that red checkered one? I got that from Value Village. The white T-shirt I got from Value Village. This one, this shirt I earned at a Spartan race. Yeah. Okay. Here's something for you about if you're buying. If you're the kind of person that doesn't have a problem buying stuff used at Goodwill, Value Village. I don't know what they have in the States. They must have something. Uh, Here's the trick for Value Village. If you want some really, really nice stuff, find the Value Village where the general area has a higher income because the nicer stuff is there. Okay. For example, so Bub, when I go to like Vaughan, the stuff there is nicer than the stuff in Mississauga or Brampton. Certain parts of Toronto where there's a Value Village, it's good stuff, and some of the stuff is like brand new. It kind of makes sense, right? The general neighborhood or area, they have a higher income, they buy higher quality stuff. So that actually, yeah, exactly. Wealthier areas, same in the UK, buy in wealthier areas, and that actually does work. So try it out, bud. Just and another thing, here's what I found out, guys. So Amazon, if you ever have to return anything from Amazon, sometimes they don't even open up the package at all. What they do, they dump it onto a skid, and then they sell it to companies that resell it, like sort of like inventory. They call it inventory sale, right? Because it is inventory. And so you can get stuff that sold for $200 for fractions of the price. I had a link somewhere. I was looking, but it's not a rich area. Okay. What? There's no rich people in Ottawa? I'm sure there are. Um, but I'm going to see if I could find a link to that place where it's sort of like an Amazon clearinghouse, except they don't use the word Amazon. It's all the stuff that they got from Amazon, and it's kind of like being resold to the public because the company bought it from from the skids. Look at that. Yeah, can't. Yeah. Wow, that's insane. $800 on eBay. Wow, that's insane. I didn't think. Yeah, I could see, like, sometimes people sell paintings and then they find out it's worth millions. Can you imagine being the person, you're having a garage sale and some dude comes up and says, "Hey, I like that painting. That'll look good in my garage. How much you want for it?" I don't know, $5. You buy it for $5. They hang it in their garage, and then somehow, some way, somebody sees it from an old video they're doing, like a YouTube video, and then they get contacted. Hey, do you know that painting costs $250,000? That's how stuff works sometimes. That's how this planet operates. It's kind of weird. Pembroke, Petawawa, Ottawa. There we go. Look at that. Well, guys, this is what is it? Hey, I got a new button here. It says show or hide. I'm gonna click show. Okay, I don't know what's gonna happen. Go. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. See, that's the thing, right? You had the knowledge that you can iron fire hose. You had the knowledge about that particular item, and again, that expression, knowledge is power slash potential power, right? Yeah, if there's a way that it'd be kind of cool to win the lottery. You know, I know what I would do if I won like the big lottery. I wouldn't. I don't think I would tell too many people. I'd kind of keep it quiet. That's a good question. What would you guys do if you won the lottery? One man's junk is another man's jewelry. Yeah, I can see that. Or someone's van build like mine. Oh, speaking of van build, just something real quick. Uh, my uh, some parts of my van build was made from, actually, a majority from pallet wood. Okay, and it's important to keep in mind that if you're going to be using pallet wood, make sure that it doesn't contain chemicals or pesticides and things like that. Kiln dried is always better. And here's a quick tip in terms of picking up picking up materials for wood, pallet wood, and things like that. Find a food distribution warehouse or area, because the pallet wood that they use is chemical free, and it's usually in good condition or clean. And in many cases, they literally they dump them off to this in the back, and they actually pay people to take them away. They pay a recycling company to take those pallets away. So if you ask the supervisor or manager or who's ever running the place, you could probably take a few away with you. A tiny house village planned for people. You know what? That would be absolutely awesome. That'd be very cool. Yeah, exactly. There's different types. You could probably Google it. It'll tell you the various types that's happening there. You know what? I would love a tiny home. Like a tiny home would be pretty cool. Well, I kind of do sort of. I do have a tiny house, tiny home. Yeah, chemical free for food pellets. Yeah, they're required to. I know here in Ontario, there's a law about that, right? And also, oh, here's something else as well. I always get this, okay, especially when I'm in the FB forums or Reddit. Oh, look at your build. It's full of wood. It must be so heavy. Actually, it isn't. Because first of all, the wood that I'm using is kiln dried. Basically, all of the moisture has been pretty much sucked out of it, okay? So it's really light. My recent video that I posted this morning shows how light the actual wood is. It's like this plank about, 13, 15 inches wide. It's very, very light. So that's important to keep in mind. Thank you. Yeah, it's all salvage. I pretty much had zero budget. Like everything was from found, most of it found, free, gifted, or near free. Near free meaning like I paid almost nothing for it. Like for example, I did buy some plywood, but I paid like $25 for the plywood because the edge were kind of like messed up. It was gouged up because it was like sitting in some gunk. So I just cut that part off. And also I didn't need 8 feet. I just needed so much, right? But in terms of the weight of my van, it's actually very light, very light. The air conditioner. That one has a story behind it. Where do I start with that one? The air conditioner is a 12-volt air conditioner. It runs approximately 3 to 5 amps, and it's really low powered. But it's more of a glorified spot cooler. Like it does, like think of it as like how you have a fan, right? And it's blowing on you, like wow, but it's blowing hot air on you. Okay, this one here, the air conditioner actually blows cold air on you to the point where when I'm sleeping at nighttime and it's like super, super hot, okay, and I don't want to open up my windows because either mosquitoes come in or somebody comes in, I don't know, right? Um, I just have it pointing at me and I get cold air and it works really, really well. Uh, it arrived from China, from a company from China, and at that time they were selling it for like about $400. Okay. Now, what's great about that one is if you've heard of a company called Zero Breeze, I was looking at the Zero Breeze mechanism, and I was able to find out that the mechanism, I don't know this for sure, but it's the same set of mechanism and compressors and parts as the one that I got, except it's not in a pretty package. It's just like it looks industrial. And if you watch the video, you'll see the all the stuff. Like there's nothing on it. It comes bare. It's just like this piece of machine, right? And all I did was I mounted it at the back of my van. I've got a video for that, and just hooked it up. It has a built-in potentiometer, which allows you to sort of adjust the amount of cool air you're getting. And I don't know why they have a potentiometer because it's always on full for me. Like who wants the least amount of air conditioning? Especially it doesn't even really. It will not cool the entire van. It will cool you. So and for like $400 minus a gift amount that I got for it, I had to get it. And that's I think that's one of my biggest expenses for the van build. Uh, Now I think that same unit is going for like $550. So it did go up. What's great is, first of all, I don't work for the company. I don't know what they're about. But when I was setting it up and I had questions, they actually replied back. Um, Uh, I have a playlist for it. Let's see if I can find it. I'm gonna go see if I can find a playlist for you. Um, for the 12 volt. There it is. 12 volt. See if we can do this. Here we go. I'm gonna copy here. Here it is. Staying cool with an AC. Looking for that link. Yay, there's a link. Yes, actually, that's a good question about the air conditioner. There are two parts to the air conditioner in terms of input and output. One, it has to be exhausted out. Like it's literally a miniaturized air conditioner. It's tiny, and so I exhausted it out from the side window, and I created sort of like this. I don't know, this opening. Okay, I cut one out. Okay, using a jigsaw, and then there's also a part where the water has to go. So it's got a tube where the water comes out, and I've got a container that catches that water. Now, if I use the air conditioner for several days, several hours, I have to dump it out, okay? But for the most part, it kind of like dries itself out pretty good. And then and then the output is the actual cold air, but there's also an input. And some people have said that that input should be pointing to the outside, but it seems to me it works better if I keep it in the van, okay? As long as there's some cool air, or rather some air going through. Oh, power. What do I do for power? That's a good question. And I'm glad you asked that question because it's actually something that people have been asking me about, especially when you hear about the air conditioner, when you hear about my latest like sort of like 12-volt adventures in cooking. Okay. Um, the For power, I have solar. I get to charge batteries. They're golf batteries, by the way. I bought them at a discount and set of golf batteries, and I charge them via solar. I've got two solar panels, 100 watts each. So I'm pulling in probably about a total of 15 amps or so, okay, on a decent day. So it charges all right. I've got a built-in MPPT controller. I'm using a Renogy DC to DC charger, and this part is where it gets really interesting. So I get my power via solar, DC to DC charger via the alternator, and then I also have shore power. And for the shore power, it's a separate connection. I just picked up a NOCO uh, battery charger, and this is the part that I wish I had made a video about. And maybe what I'm going to do is I'm gonna drop back at some point and sort of show you guys not necessarily how I made it, but how the connections went. Because once you see the connections, it actually starts making sense. Okay, but I was going to get a separate MPPT controller and then a separate DC to DC charger, and then I checked Amazon and there was a Renogy device. Somebody was selling a used one for like $200. Like I'm thinking, oh man, is this thing broken or what? But you can't pass up $200, right? So anyway, I picked it up and it's a 50 amp DC to DC charger, and I hooked it up to my battery, and I hooked it up to my solar panel. So it's an MPPT controller and a DC-DC charger. Now, what's amazing about this is most systems will have you physically turn off, okay, your solar panel, or physically turn off your DC-DC charger so they don't conflict. For example, if I'm parked, the system is smart enough to recognize, hey, this guy's got solar power, and his engine is off, so we're going to charge the batteries via solar power. If I'm driving, the system is smart enough to recognize, hey, it doesn't need solar power. We're going to charge via the DC to DC charger. We're going to charge via alternator. So that's why it's actually a really good system. And there's I think it's Prowse. I think it's William Prowse. I got the young dude, and I saw his video, and he's a guy that seems to specialize in electrical. I wish I could remember his name, but it has some really good marks. But if you look up Renogy DC to DC charger, 50 amp, it's got some great reviews. What's this one about the China's diesel heater? The controller bleeds. Oh, yes, that's right. The controller believes that its overheating can be used as an air blower. You know, I probably will need to to replace my diesel heater. Will Prowse, that's it. Thank you, Darlene. That's the guy. That's the guy. Young guy too. I thought I'm very knowledgeable. It seems very knowledgeable, and he does all these experiments. And it's great to see somebody actually do this YouTube thing and do well. I thought that was cool. The solar god, Will Prowse. That's it. Yeah, I know. He's a very smart guy. Yeah, yeah. I watched YouTube videos, and now what's great about 12 volts is it's very difficult to kind of like mess it up versus like a household electrical, right? You're dealing with 12 volts, and one of the reasons why 12 volts is popular is the amount of draw that it's getting is very low. Hence, they use it for cars as well. But you can also get an adapter, right? You can get an inverter, but there's also a way so that inside your home, you can get a unit that will convert a household current to 12 volts. So I don't know why you would want to do that, but I'm sure there's a running case for it somewhere. Yeah, Will Prowse, that's the guy. So Will had a very good review on it and went for it. That's another thing about getting stuff on Amazon. I do buy stuff on Amazon, but I also always look to see if someone is selling something used. And also, sometimes there's an Amazon seller who's selling the exact product for less, and you just have to wait a few more days, or something's different about it in terms of just maybe an arrangement. I'm not exactly sure, but there's always somebody selling something used, and if you don't mind buying something used, I always say go for it. Look at this. Guys, we've been on this like for 42 minutes. That's amazing. I'm just scrolling here. Oh, look, and I had a poll too. I didn't even know what that poll is about. Oh, yeah, I think I said test. Let me click on it. Oh, yeah. Testing the poll feature. Yes, no. I like it. 90% said yes. That's very cool. So how do I place it back? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It went by fast, didn't it? I thought that was interesting. So, I'm going to be doing an actual van tour, okay? An actual real van tour. And it'll have details about the van and how I do stuff, how I cook, and it won't be a professional filming or anything. It'll just be me. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't even know this was possible. I think maybe I'll do one of these every so often, maybe once a week, maybe on a Saturday. I'm not sure, but I think it's kind of good to sort of connect with people, and also just much more, interactive, right? Like it's easier to sort of talk about it versus type about it. Yeah, van tour. Yeah. I have been trying to work on his van tour forever. I mean, it's I've watched other people do their van tours, and I'm thinking, why can't I do that? And for some reason, I think what I need to do is I just need to sort of start from the front of the van and just work my way to the back and just sort of talk about each one, right? Yeah, exactly. Very amazing that we can hook up. Thank you, Iron Fire Horse. Thank you. Yeah. This is actually I find it interesting. Like I see you guys type, and I just sort of chat away here. I'm just wondering, like, if apparently there's streaming software out there that makes this a much more exciting approach. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the van tour as well, and I hope I'm looking to see if I can do one next week. I have other videos that I'm going to be putting out. Like for example, the 12-volt timer video. That one's really important. If you have a 12-volt device, none of them come with timers. And what a 12-volt timer does is it allows you to control when it starts and when it turns off. For example, when I'm at work, right? I have that little 12-volt oven. So I make my pizza, okay? I set the timer for usually to start at 10:45. I let it cook for 1 hour. It turns off. By the time I get to the van, my pizza's ready to go. And to me, that's extremely useful. Otherwise, it'll just keep baking and baking, and then it's going to burn the pizza, right? Oh my goodness, it's Mobang. Tim, how are you, man? I know, eh? Look, I'm here. I was so Mobang. I was like clicking around on my YouTube, okay, and this thing here, right? And I said, "What's this button?" And it's like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that button?" And all of a sudden, it just says, "You are now live streaming," and I'm like, "Whoa!" And then the first person that showed up was Bub Blades. That was so cool. Yeah, dude, I remember you. I remember you from like almost a year and a half ago when I started this channel. Yeah, say hi to this guy. Guys, Tim has a fantastic channel. You got to go visit it. Control via SMS. I'll tell you something. That stuff fascinates me. StreamYard. I I I never. This is a first for me. A lot of firsts today. StreamYard. Okay, I'll look into that. What? Oh, you can share a screen on your laptop. That sounds like that's a. You know what? That would have been good, and I'll tell you why. Because uh, it'd be kind of cool to sort of like give you guys a real time sort of view of a video that I have. That we can talk about it. You can ask questions. Like right now, it's just basically all you got is me. I think you just sort of just this guy, this talking head in front of the screen. Um, so it'd be good to StreamYard. I'll look into that. Maybe there's probably a free version and then a super ultra version. Bring people up and chit chat. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Yeah, guys, this is an amazing community. You guys have been just so amazing. You know what, Kay Lynch? That's actually what I really like, the perspectives, and I think that's how we grow. That's how we grow. And I'm just watching you guys say hi to each other. That's so awesome. You know, the internet has come a long way. A previous video that I made, Tim knows this one. I was sort of talking about my days as a programmer back in the '90s, and how back then nobody knew what the internet was, what a web page was, and now we're like literally here. I'm thousands of miles away from you guys, and in some cases maybe just less than 50 kilometers, and I'm able to say stuff and you can see this stuff. Yes. I'm not just a nerd, I'm a super nerd. Yeah. You know what? Computers have always been something. It's been in my life all this time. An hour north of Toronto. Look at that. Exactly, bub. And thank goodness for that. Yeah, and I mean, I know it's helped, and in some cases, unfortunately, the internet has also caused some issues. But I think I really want to concentrate on the positives. I know for me, I always jokingly tell people about YouTube University. You can learn anything on YouTube. You can Google stuff, right? Exactly. You can Google stuff and you can learn. Like my entire van build, a majority of it was me Googling and watching YouTube videos on how to build this stuff because I've never done anything like this. And if I were to do a second van build, definitely a lot of different things. I would do things differently, certain things. Hey, you know what? And maybe that's another video that I can look into, like sort of like 5 things I would have done differently with my van build. I see that a lot. Granted, my van build is specifically for me, right? Yeah, man, Tim, come over to Canada. Absolutely. Oh no, Darlene, not at all. It's all cool. Silver cabin merch? Well, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like t-shirts? Yeah, that's right. Bub, you can definitely research anything. There you go. 5 things. Yeah, maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should do like a 5 things type of like series. 5 things I like about YouTube. 5 things I like about my van build. 5 things I don't like about my van build. 5 things I like about live streams. Like 555. You know, Way back in the day, before all this internet stuff on the phone, there was this thing called an AirCard 555 by Bell Mobility. It allowed you to surf the internet from your laptop. This was from the 90s, and that thing cost, oddly enough, $500. Thank you, Darlene. I'll look at actually, Darlene, that's actually good. I've been trying to design a logo forever. Somewhere in one of my videos, which by the way, I've done over 170 videos, is 2 or 3 videos that me talking about getting a logo done. And there was a young artist who was going to do it, and unfortunately it didn't go through. And I think the poor guy just wasn't up for it. Incredibly talented young man. And I really wish him the best. And I said, when you're ready, just come back, and you're more than welcome to redo this stuff. But I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to try to put together a logo. If you can't find it, YT, yeah, exactly. You make your own video. Yeah, I know. I know. You can actually go, if you go to my main page, it says I made over 170 videos. 100, like, okay, granted, the first 50 was like me trying to figure stuff out. And actually to this day, I'm still trying to figure stuff out. Viewer logo contest, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. What I think what would be kind of cool is people just made a logo and then we just sort of post it up and see what happens. I'm not even sure how it's going to go. Like, I'm getting so many ideas right now from this. Hopefully I'll remember most of it. But I think I would need a logo, and then maybe I'll get some Silver Cabin merch. Silver Cabin. I never thought I would actually do a merchandise. But I think in order to have a merch page, I think there's some other thing that has to happen. I think YouTube says you have to meet a certain quota or criteria. Dude, the ending music, I brought that back. There was a time, like the last few months, where I wasn't putting in that music, and something felt off, right? And so I brought it back, and it's a very chill vibe music, and I like it. I'm actually glad I brought it back. A few things I brought back. For example, the vlogs or vlogs, I brought that back. And then along with that, I end up on, live stream here. That's really exciting stuff, right? That's very cool. Yeah, it is a lot of videos. Yeah, that's right. Actually, the name of the video, YouTube will automatically include. The video is a free video track in the YouTube Studio music library. It's called Hey Girl. Okay. And when I first heard it, I thought, hey, this sounds really, really smooth, So I thought, hey, I'll just try this out. There's a few of them there too. It's a good tune. I like it. There's some pretty good ones here. So YouTube has these free music tracks. Uh, Actually, every song, every tune that I've used in my YouTube have all been from the YouTube music library. So there's somebody out there with the exact same maybe using it for a different purpose, which is kind of interesting to me. So Darlene, maybe I'll start with a simple T-shirt, simple silver cabin T-shirt. Let's start with that, and also I'll figure out a way to. I'm sure there's like some kind of T-shirt company out there that'll sort of make things via consignment, because I don't have the capacity to actually print out a bunch of T-shirts and sell them. It'll be kind of like sort of on the fly T-shirt thing. You have the talent of. You want to know how it ends. That's so amazing. Well, usually how it ends when you start hearing me say, and remember, if you like the video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you think it's worthy. Yeah, and then, but you know, one thing that I have been including more and more in my videos is, and it's important to me, is I tell people that they're awesome. Like, you're awesome, okay? That's important to me. And that's really important to me. And it can be any other word. Awesome, amazing, remarkable. I think what happens is we get so beaten down, like basically run down by the day to day, that we kind of forget how amazing we are and you are. And we kind of forget that we could do stuff, that we're not helpless. There's a lot of things that we could do. But unfortunately, what happens is we become so overwhelmed with all these things we have to do that we just sink right down. And I think how you speak to yourself is so important. Oh, that one. You're still here. Yeah, I remember that. That was just on the fly. That was something that I thought of. And so there you have it. Wow, guys, you're like, I'm feeling this sort of like retro vibe happening here, going back a year and a half ago. Can you believe it though, guys? Like, my YouTube is like about a year and a half, 2 years now. You know what? I am hoping by next year I can take you guys on a trip out west, and we'll be seeing all kinds of cool stuff. And who knows, we might meet up uh with Foresty Forest. I've been watching him more and more. Uh, I've been watching him for a while. Really, really pretty cool stuff that he's got. He picked up a puppy and everything. Yeah, dude, that's right, Bub. Absolutely, positive vibes all the way. Google Photos. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know you could edit with Google Photos. I mean, there's so many things that you could do with these apps nowadays, right? You know, like make toast and everything, right? So there you have it. Wow. So who do we have here? You know, there's a bot. I'm looking at my screen here, and there's a part here that says 0 of 200. I don't know what that means. What does this button do? Hopefully I don't disconnect anything. Oh, look. I found the emoji button. What is this one here? Wow, it's a taco. Oh, look at that. I'm just gonna click everything here, okay, guys? Yay! That felt productive. What's this one here? I'm wondering what does this mean? 0 of 200. It's okay. Okay, there's a button here called edit. You've done everything on your phone? I believe it. Yeah, Rocco, like Jack Russell Terrier. And I think the dog grew bigger. Okay. Forrest Forrest's dog grew bigger in the last 2 weeks or week. Like, because the last time I saw, maybe it was a camera angle, but he released a video like yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I saw the dog. I'm thinking that dog's bigger. That's a bigger dog. Of course. See that? Who knows? Maybe one day there'll be like some kind of like a way for us to sort of like email each other food. Can you imagine? Like who knows? That might be possible. We're kind of doing it now, except they're called recipes. Oh yes, yeah, we were talking about a meetup. That'd be very cool. Man, I'm telling you, I'm working and saving my pennies to head out west to do a cross Canada trip. Go down to on the west coast and then head south around California area. I would love to be able to go to Yosemite, Yellowstone, all those places. Maybe go to Utah, jump back up to BC or Alberta, then driving the Trans-Canada Highway. I thought about going to Yukon as well. I am going through some kind of like, you're in California? Hey, I'll visit you. There's also somebody else from Florida that I want to go to Florida as well. I mean, I want to go everywhere. And I think it's possible. I've been planning it out. 2 blocks from Disneyland. Wow. Tim, how many times have you been to Disneyland? What's Disneyland like in California? Two times. Wow. Man, I'm telling you, when I think of Disneyland, I think of all the movies. 2000, eh? Wow. When I was 12 years old, my parents took us to Disney World in Florida. And that place was so amazing to me. And I think for most kids, right? Because it's all about the mood and vibe, right? Yeah, when I think of Disneyland and Disney World, it just takes me right back. And I think that's the kind of stuff that I hold on to because they're good memories, right? And that's what we have to do sometimes. It's also good to create new memories, right? Always important. Yukon, yeah, I'd love to go there. You know what? I would love to go everywhere. That's what I'd like to do. I have been thinking about a silver cabin caravan. That'd be funny. That might be a little fun. Yeah, we can sort of meet up and all that stuff. There are a lot of possibilities. I mean, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we could do. Staying at home, yeah, you definitely can save money staying at home. That's true. That's true. That's absolutely true. Well, nowadays, I know within our area here, rent is insane. It's just totally insane. And trying to buy a house is even more insane. Yeah, dude, travel would be totally nice. Like right now, I'm I'm saving, I'm putting stuff away. I'm reducing my home base to something much, much smaller, much more manageable. And I definitely don't miss a lot of the stuff associated. I'm not going to miss the stuff associated the with the rat race. Like my previous job was a programmer, and it was insane. That's right, Debbie. We said the same word, insane. So much is insane nowadays. Exactly, it is insane. The pricing is insane, and that's why I think being able to sustain yourself, whether it's living in your van or downsizing, instead of like, do you really need that big house? Can you rent a room, a nice room in a nice area, right? Instead of paying $1,500 for a condo or $2,000, you can reduce it down to $500 a month for a room, right? With a shared kitchen. Yeah, so those are the kind of strategies that you can take, and as long as you negotiate a driveway, even better, right? Make sure it's close by to the shore power. I think that stuff is important. And those are the strategies that I've seen people actually do, and they work. They work really well. I was going to say something about the van. Oh yes, my silver cabin. My silver cabin um, needs a brake job, so I got to get the brakes fixed, or they're updated, because I can sort of tell they're going to go. Um, Apparently, I got it checked out, and the muffler needs to be replaced at some point. Wow, 420K, dude. Yeah, it's insane. And that's in the States as well, right? Like California. This is where the tiny home movement kind of makes sense. Yeah, yeah, exactly, bub. Like literally think it through. And this is what I mean is like about being awesome. You could do stuff. You just have to plan it and then execute the plan. I know all of us, maybe I'm being presumptuous here, but I think everyone in this chat, we've all had our challenges. I think that's one of the reasons why one of the things that drew me to van life. I was in a situation, and essentially, I was able to navigate through it because of my van. I think it was the best thing I ever did. One of the best things that I could have done to help my situation, my scenario. But trying to get a van nowadays is crazy. It's vans that used to go for $4,000 are going for like $6,000 or $8,000. You could actually buy, yeah, designs online. You can buy tiny home designs, um, but you have to make sure when you do buy them that the plans are consistent with the laws of the area you're building. I think that's an important thing. If you like, I would love to create to make a tiny home, do a tiny home. I would love to do that. And one of the things that I might get back into is probably I might get into part-time programming again, because that's what I did full time. But it just burned me right out. When I think about it, I'm thinking I can't believe I went through all that. Like average work week was like 60, 80 hours, like easily. I could easily work 60, 80 hours. The money was good, but it would destroy you mentally and just emotionally. Like it was insane. I did that for like decades. But I think if I did it part time, because my expenses are just so much smaller now, I could definitely go part time. Yeah, zoning laws. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Bob. Zoning laws. I know some people that have their tiny home on a trailer, and they just cart it around, right? And I've seen one time driving through Mississauga, and I'm thinking, "Oh man, that guy's gonna get stopped." I don't think they got stopped, but it was just so out of place, just driving, and people like kind of slowing down, looking at it. I'm looking at it thinking, "Wow, that guy's got it figured out. He must be so happy." There are some tiny home YouTubes out there as well that when I watch it, I'm thinking, "Yeah, I want a tiny home." But I think right now, I want to be able to travel. I want a tiny home that can travel and go to different places. That'd be pretty cool. And who knows, maybe I'll get a dog as well. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, mental health is much more important. Your mind drives, how you feel. That's a good point, Milk. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny. I'm really happy to see when people kind of start realizing this, that like you don't have to Like you can still have a good life. Like I think societally we think that you need to have a house to be happy. Societally, people think that you need to have X Y Z. You have to have done X Y Z to be happy. And I find that the van life community doesn't think that way. I don't want to use the expression, but I will. It's called thinking out of the box, and I'm hoping there's a better expression. But I find we're a different bunch. Yes, I do have a tiny home, Bob. Yeah, it is definitely tiny. Yeah, and it's for example, sometimes I go visit my parents and I sleep on the driveway. I prefer sleeping in the driveway than the bed. That's 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 what I prefer. Yeah, that's right. Some good conversation coming out of you. That's fantastic. Look at that. Okay. Oh, look, in the top left corner, it actually tells me how many people were here. 14. Yay. Or there was, 15. There's 15. It just went up. So that's cool, right? And we've got 12 likes. That's cool. That's all right. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. Wow, you built a hut. That's cool. How long did it take you to build a hut? She had to take a break and camp out at Walmart. Cat fan lady, yep. And that's what's great about having a van. It is like your fortress of solitude. You could just drive away and no one will find you, no one will bother you. It's sort of like, you don't like what's going on right now? No problem. Just jump in your van and drive away. That's amazing. Like that to me is a power. That's a powerful thing. Months, took you months, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine being able to do that. Like, and yeah, it's like yeah, you have to gather the pieces, Tim. Yeah, I can imagine it took you a while. I think many of us have a similar approach. We sort of like had enough of this system kind of thing, right? And we're learning how to sort of l- you know live with less stuff, but you definitely have more freedom. Yeah, you don't like your neighbors hit the accelerator. Pretty much. I think that there's a power in that. I love that concept where you do have your fortress of solitude. I don't think I've seen that episode. I usually watch them, later in the evening when I'm just chilling out. Except this evening, what I did was I clicked on the stream button, which is, wonderful little accident, I guess. Worked out pretty good. One thing I want to research some more is, and I know it's been asked in the forums a lot, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about, how do people generate an income when they're van lifing, right? Now, I think it's different if you're retired because you have a certain, amount coming in. But for those who aren't retired that want to do this, like one way that I've seen it happen was people save up, which is what I'm doing. Maybe they do some work on the road. I don't know how that works. So I'm like learning. I'm learning as I go along. I don't know where I'm going to be in a year or two from now, but I'm hoping I've got it figured out. Glad you've been nice chatting. Okay, Bob. Yeah, that's right. Hey, thanks for chiming in. You were the first one. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And you know what, guys? We've been doing this for like over an hour. I think Bub's got the right idea. We'll have to reconnect again, and maybe this is something we can do. It's an accident live. That's right, man. That's right, Tim. It's an accident live. We'll have to get some more people together again. But I really didn't expect 14 people to show up. I was just expecting like nobody to show up. I was clicking around and all of a sudden Bub shows up. Woo! That was funny. Guys, have a good night. Thank you. Yeah, Tim's living the life, man. I'm retired and love to travel cheap. Well, right now I just like to travel cheap. Hopefully I'll be retired soon. Guys, thanks very much. Chime out, okay? I'm going to attempt to sign out in a elegant way. So what I'll do, oh, I wish I could cue my music though. Hold on, maybe I can. See if I can find it. Hold on, let me see what we got here. Let's click around. Let's click around here. Sell coffee, that's cool. That's very cool. Thanks, Tim. And you are too, I think. You certainly are. What am I doing here? What is this? Have a good night. Have a good night. Well, I certainly can't cue the music right now. Thank you. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. StreamYard. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to type that in, StreamYard. Oh, look at that. Sign up for StreamYard today. Wow, it looks like a really heavy-duty type of place. See that? Wow, that screen. Bright screen. That's a lot of buttons. A lot of buttons happening there. Whoops. Yikes. There we go. Okay, guys, have a good night. 3. I'm going to have a countdown here, okay? 2, 1. I'm going to say bub bye. And now I have to click the button. There it is. Bye, guys. And remember, you're awesome.